beware of the dogs. He calls them dogs. One of the commentators makes the point here. He says this is an epithet. He says, which the apostle employs nowhere else and has been given all kinds of pejorative connotations, including impurity, shamelessness, greed, cunning, insolence, intrusiveness, ferocity and attack, and wandering about. So Paul is using this word of dog to communicate, to make a certain point, even spiritually, about these false teachers. Because again, for the Jews, they would understand, for them, a dog would be unclean. And so now for Paul to use this term in reference to those who are claiming to be spiritually right, no, you are the spiritual dogs. Think about, even for a moment, when you start to think about how dog is used in Scripture in the New Testament. On one occasion, remember in Matthew chapter 15, verses 26 to 27, where the lady came to Jesus to ask Jesus to heal a child. Matthew 15, 26, 27, he answered and said, it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. But she said, yes, Lord, but even the dogs feed on the crumbs which fall from their master's table. And this is the point that the commentator went on to say, and the commentator here is O'Brien, is the point that I was just reading from. This is what he goes on to say. He said, it evoked, talking about the term dogs, it evoked for the Jew the image of uncleanness. For dogs were well known for feeding on filth and garbage. According to the Mishnah, these animals were mentioned with reference to matters of unclean food. The term was an apt description of those who did not submit to Jewish dietary laws and thus regarded as unholy. Dogs and Gentiles in some contexts were almost synonymous. And then he goes on, as a religious term, it was applied by Jews to Gentiles or lapsed Jews who were ritually unclean and thus outside the covenant. Here at Philippians chapter 3, verse 2, the dog's association with impurity and their being outside the people of God are the points of the comparison. But an amazing reversal, Paul asserts that it is the Judaizers who are to be regarded as Gentiles. They are the dogs who stand outside of the covenant blessings. You get it? You are the dogs. While you had been looking at the Gentiles as the dogs, and now you want to try to add to salvation this covenant, the circumcision. You want to say to people that you must be circumcised in order to be saved. Paul said, by you taking on such a view, by that being your point, and that's what Judaism means, where you're trying to include the Judaism and the rituals of Judaism as a part or as a means to being saved. He's saying, by you doing this and by you holding to such beliefs, you then are the ones who are truly outside of the covenant blessing. You are the one that is unclean, while you want to believe that it's the others. It is you because of your beliefs. And so there you have, beware of the dogs.